Hello everyone, welcome back to My Left Eye. Now, the Tories are very well known for making some pretty piss-poor excuses at times, but human blancmange Therese Coffee, Environment Secretary, really has taken the biscuit this time. So, there's been a large amount of flooding in the country. There's not been enough investment in defence against flooding, and also we know where the Tories stand on climate change. They're making half-assed efforts as countermeasures or no effort whatsoever. Therese Coffee recently went to visit some of the victims of flooding who can't return to their house for several months now, and made a pretty poor effort at talking to the constituents. And just yesterday, she came out with an excuse that you really won't believe, even by Tory standards. Let's just remind ourselves of what happened when she went to visit the constituents.
For some, it brought back memories of the flooding which took place here in 2007.
But it gives a good
it's not a home anymore.
It's
not a home.
It will be again.
Yeah, but I have to force.
It will be again. It will be again. You know, you're just homeless for months and you've probably got to move very far away from home. You might have children. Never mind. Therese Coffee's managed to drag her ass off the sofa to go and speak to her constituents, and it's almost like she's personally offended by having to do that. She's not really known for putting in the effort and putting in the hours, as it were. So, a really flimsy visit to see these people who are obviously going to be in a terrible situation now and in a lot of distress because of flooding. Who knows what the state of the house is going to be like even when they do get to return to it.
Out and I have to do all the hard work. We have to do all the hard
I
work
understand.
because that is us. It's all on us. We want it all on you now. You've got to do it. You deal with it.
This is what she's used as an excuse for how bad the floods were. It really is truly unbelievable stuff. She's claiming that the rain that we normally have comes from one direction, but because the rain came from a different direction, according to her, this time, that's really caught us off guard, and we were blindsided by this incredible change of direction from the wind. You really have to see it yourself to believe it. So this was in one of the committee meetings.
Unfortunately, about 1,300 homes have been flooded in this session. Now, I want to pay tribute to all the emergency responders and council officers and similar around the country have been working very hard alongside the Environment Agency, internal drainage boards as well. One of the things that happened, particularly with Storm Babette, is that we're very good with the Met Office and the Environment Agency flood forecasting, predicting weather normally, because most of our rain tends to come in from the west. We've got that pretty much down to a fine art.
Well, Britain's not the driest country. We've had a drop of rain before, Therese. I don't know if you'd noticed or not, and we've had it from all directions previously. And this also comes with ever-increasing sea levels, as we know. I'm going to come on to that in a bit, but let's just hear this pitiful excuse from Coffee.
This was rain coming from the other way, and we don't have quite as much experience on that, and therefore our accuracy of predicting where such heavy rain would fall was not to the same degree as if it had been.
So just to be clear, it's not because she's piss poor at running her department. It's not because the Tories have got a piss poor attitude towards climate change or the victims of flooding and completely ignore scientific guidance. It's down to the fact that we were completely caught out by this change in direction of the rain. Just wanted to make that absolutely clear for anybody who's listening who was a little bit confused by what Therese Coffee said there. It's just the rain's fault. It's just the rain's fault.
We had the Environment Agency had moved assets from parts of the country more towards Yorkshire and the North East and that way. But I'm conscious that there were still some places.
So it can't rain in more than one place at a time, just to be very clear. It can rain in Yorkshire, but then it couldn't rain on Tyneside or Lancashire or Greater Manchester or even down south.
That felt they could have done with some more pumps. But once this initial situation is over and at the end of this week, we've got the spring tides. Doesn't feel right because we're in autumn, but anyway, we've got tides of coming in.
I know weather. I know science.
I think after that, I've already met the Chief Exec of the Environment Agency twice. We'll do a rapid review of understanding what could have been done better.
And I'm sure when this review comes out, there'll be more piss poor excuses to go along with it. So that's Therese Coffee there. Let's just take a look, just to remind, I don't know if Therese Coffee is aware of this. This is actually what Britain is forecast to look like if we have the same rate of sea level rise that we're in at the moment. Let's just remind ourselves of that. So here you can see it's a pretty bleak picture. I'll try and zoom in on a few areas here. You can see London's completely fucked. You can forget London. You can see there. Starting with London, completely underwater. Basically everywhere in the UK that isn't up a hill is not in for a good ride over the next coming decades. This projection is from quite a conservative model, but this is the reality, this is the future that we stand to be living in if things carry on the way that we do, and with environmental secretaries like Therese Coffee, who frankly don't give two shits about the environment. They don't want to know. So all she had for an excuse there was to wait for a report to come out, kick the can down the road, wait for another inquiry, blah blah blah, and then they'll just completely ignore what's in any recommendations or the outcomes of any inquiries. That's the Tory way. That's Therese Coffee's modus operandi, and that's how she likes to pretend to do her job. So take a good look at this picture. That's the Britain that we face with environmental secretaries like Therese Coffee. We've seen the attitude that she has towards the constituents. We've seen the attitude that she has to be held to account for her inactions. And this is what we're stuck with. So thanks a lot for joining us on My Left Eye. If you've not done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. Check out some of our previous videos. And you can buy us a coffee. There's a link in the description there as well. Until next time, keep an eye out for yourselves.